May I come in?
Could you introduce yourself?
My name is Mohammad Huzaif Sheikhzada. I did my BTech from NIT Srinagar in 2016. After that, I started working in a digital marketing company. And after leaving that, I decided to pursue my civil services career. My hobbies are watching and playing football. And in the meantime, when I get time, I do online marketing as well.
So you have done your degree in metallurgy and materials. Then you are interested in marketing also.
Yeah, actually there was a reason behind that.
So why then you opted for civil services?
Sir, the reason is that after 2016 I wanted to go for civil services, but it was quite expensive to live in Delhi. And since I had campus placement from my college, I decided I'll go for corporate work culture for 2 years. Meanwhile, I will cover my expenses in Delhi from that. And after that, I decided to leave my job and prepare in Delhi.
You are from Bemina?
Yeah, I am from Bemina.
What is the background of this Bemina village? Why Bemina?
Sir, I am not aware about this. I don't know.
How many tahsils are in district Srinagar? District Badgam?
No, sir.
How many districts in the UT of J&K?
Sir, I guess 28 districts or 26. 26 or 28. I'm not fully sure.
If I have to go to Bemina, how many options are available to me? How many options? Say, Bemina, I have to go to Bemina village. How many ingresses are available to me to Bemina, to reach to Bemina?
So one is the highway, main highway, Baramulla Jammu highway. From there you can go. Other is through Karanagar. You can reach Bemina as well. The other side is from Kamarwari side. Back side you can also enter Bemina.
Okay.
So you want to go to civil services,
Yes.
isn't it? So you will be tomorrow offered a position in some senior place in government.
Yes.
So one of the issues concerning Kashmir is Indus Water Treaty. What do you know about Indus Water Treaty?
Sir, it was brokered in 1960 by World Bank, and the water was divided between India and Pakistan. The three northern rivers, Indus, Chenab and Satluj, the rights were granted to Pakistan, and Chenab, Ravi and Satluj rights were granted to Bias, were granted to India. The water sharing, I guess, is 80 to 20%. 80% water is shared to Pakistan and 20% is shared to India. And there have been question marks raised by Pakistan for suppose that many projects we have been constructing on Jhelum River. Pakistan has been accusing us that you are obstructing the river flow there. But what we have done is we have built those rivers, those projects are river channels. So there is no actually water, we don't stop the water flow in that. So continuously there have been talks that we have to renew the Indus Water Treaty. But so far India has taken not a hard stand on this because it wants to show its good relations with its neighbors. So that is why Indus Water Treaty has not been ratified yet.
What are the issues concerning the Indus Water Treaty? Why do we want to go for a revision of Indus Water Treaty?
So the issues are...
And who wants to go? Pakistan or India or both?
India wants the change in the treaty because the treaty is in favor of Pakistan. If you look, the water sharing is in favor of Pakistan. Further, Pakistan has been accusing India of obstructing the water flow in its Indus rivers. But what India has done, they are river run projects. River run project is a project which does not stop the flow. It only diverts the water. And then water again flows into the Indus. So that is why there have been issues on Indus Water Treaty as such. But for now, as of I have known that to maintain its good relation with neighbors and to don't sound hegemonic, India has opted not to ratify this treaty as.
Are you aware there is a dam being made somewhere in Gurez?
Rather constructed already.
It's already constructed. Are you aware about it? And why is it that the Pakistan is crying that this dam cannot be made? Because the water otherwise also flows to Pakistan. What can be the concern of Pakistan here?
Concern of Pakistan is the main reason they are saying is that they are obstructing the water which is used to come to Indus. They are restricting the flow of the water. But again, India, what it has done, it is not a project that is obstructing the flow of water. The main aim of the project, it is just a river run project. If the river flows like in a straight direction, what India is doing, it is just diverting that water. It's stopping it for a time. generating electricity from that, and then allowing the water to flow again.
No, I mean, what is the concern of Pakistan? Why are they objecting then? Because water otherwise also goes to Pakistan, isn't it?
Technicalities. I'm not
What
aware.
can be wrong? I mean, with this, because water, you say 80-20.
Uh-huh.
Pakistan, in any ways, whether the water flows directly to Pakistan from Gurez or it goes via Wulur Lake and again through Jhelum, it again goes to Pakistan, isn't it?
They are accusing us. Maybe they are false
No,
accusations.
make a guess. What could be the what could be the grounds?
reason? What could be the ground?
Guesswork.
Just false accusations, I think, as far as I know.
Can you visualize? Can you imagine Neelam River? Its origin, through which areas this flows. Now, if it is diverted, what will happen to that area? Can you just imagine? Just make a guesswork.
Some areas in Pakistan may be getting the irrigation water from this canal. So if we divert water through Jhelum rather than allowing it to flow directly from the Gurez, what will be the implications of the area where from the water flows otherwise? Are you aware about that?
Yes.
Acha, have you heard about this? There is this controversy right now going on about the selection of the judges in the Supreme Court and the High Court.
Sir, this has
What
been.
is the controversy?
There has been this has been a long controversy since independence. As far as I remember, there have been 4 judges cases regarding this. So what executive is saying that the collegium system should be replaced, and I guess a memorandum of procedure has also been established. It is in preliminary phase where it is said that a committee will be formed and some executive will refer also some of its members. But there has not been any fruitful result about that. So,
What is your take? Say, you say what are the 4 pillars of democracy?
So 4 pillars of democracy. One is the freedom of speech and expression.
4 pillars of democracy.
One is the election, free and fair elections. Other is, I think, the right to freedom of speech, right to dissent, and 4th is.
But these are the rights given under the Constitution. I am asking you a question. What are the 4 pillars of democracy? 1, 2, 3 and 4.
Please listen patiently and carefully.
I'm
And
not
be
asking you
relaxed
about-
while listening to questions.
I'm not asking
Be
you.
relaxed.
I am not asking you to tell me what are the rights guaranteed by the Constitution, right to speech, freedom of speech, right to expression, right to own your religion. These are all rights, I am asking you that there is this epithet called, there are 4 pillars of a vibrant democracy. What are those 4 pillars?
So rule of law.
Rule of law. Okay.
Uh,
Have you heard about that there are these 4 pillars? There is executive, there is legislature, then there is judiciary, then there is media.
media.
These are the 4 pillars.
Okay, sir.
Okay? So judiciary is one of the 4 pillars of the
Democracy.
democracy. Now, given the selection of the judges by the government, do you think this 4th pillar will remain independent? If the executive chooses the judges.
Sir, what executive has been saying, what has been proposed recently is a memorandum of procedure. So it is not just the executive which will appoint the judges. There will be a role of judges in that. But what executive is saying that we will refer some of our judges from bar. So and a seniority principle will be followed. And what they are demanding, the executive.
If tomorrow you are given the job as an undersecretary or a special secretary in the law department, and you are asked to move a note, independent opinion of a special secretary in the law department gives an independent opinion how the judges should be selected. What will be your proposal?
Sir, my proposal will be similar to memorandum of procedure. What I want is that the judges which are to be selected are a proper reasons should be conveyed that why a particular judge has been selected out. As far as the memorandum of procedure is concerned, a committee can be formed from which one member can also be from the executive.
Who constitutes the committee?
It's the Supreme Court which constitutes them. In the memorandum of procedure, what has been proposed is that Supreme Court will form a committee. One member will be from the executive, and the majority decision will be taken by the judges. But what they want is a transparency in the process of that when a particular judge is selected, we want proper reasons as to why this judge has been selected, and seniority principle is followed.
Do you think as on date, no reason is given why a particular person is selected or why a particular person is dropped?
It's not made public as such.
Do you, in your proposal, you will say that it should be made public why a particular judge has been selected. Thank you.
So, Huzaif, what is your date of birth? 15th of September. So can you tell me any significant event that has happened on that date which has changed how we look at modern economies? Are you aware of the Lehman crisis? 2008, yeah. So Lehman Brothers, they filed for bankruptcy on the particular date. Okay, so I was looking, you're already 30 and you've also done a job for 2 years. So you might be financially independent as well. So why aren't you married until now?
Sir, actually, there are two reasons for that. One is the family reason. I have two elder sisters. So my father wanted that two sisters should be married before me. And second, I believe that I want to be independent enough. I was till 2018 now. So I think for me to get married, I should have some financial stability before I think of getting married.
All right. So you've already studied digital marketing as well. It's your interest as well.
Yes.
So tell me, how is the digital world tackling the menace of bots and fake accounts, given the concern that Elon Musk recently raised?
Sir, with respect to fake news, there has been a lot of issues as such.
Fake accounts.
Fake accounts?
Yeah, bots and fake accounts.
Fake accounts are somewhat related to the rumor mongering which has been spread across many countries nowadays. Now, there have been specialized cells created by Google, Facebook, Amazon. They are the ones who track the fake accounts. And on the government level, we are proposing a body to be created under I&B Ministry, which will look into these fake accounts. But as far as this time is concerned, only Google and Amazon, the tech companies, at their disposal only check what are the fake accounts and what are not.
What the controversy between Elon Musk and the acquisition of Twitter? What was the issue all about?
I think issue has been generated after Elon Musk captured Twitter, because recently he made almost fired 75% of the employees from India with a tweet writing Namaste in that. And also for the grievance redressal mechanism, he charges now $8. Earlier it was free.
So before his acquisition, what was the controversy before his acquisition?
I'm not aware about that.
Okay. You are a BTech in Metallurgy as well. So can you tell me which liquid can dissolve gold? Not an idea?
No idea.
Okay. Okay, give me 3 reasons why gold is an amazing metal.
So one is when we perform the spectroscopy of gold to check its impurities, the oxides gold form are quite stable than other materials.
Okay.
Second is the polish it gathers. Suppose if we use a material, suppose steel, and it is a corrosion resistant material, we have to deposit chromium or aluminum over it. And as far as gold is concerned, it has a little bit shiny surface on its own, so it does not get corroded very easily.
Fine.
And third, why is it as a precious metal considered? Because it is very rarely found in the world.
Okay. Give me a brief account of the agricultural sector in Jammu Kashmir.
Sir, agriculture sector in Kashmir is a backbone of Jammu and Kashmir economy. I guess it contributes 60% to the state GDP.
Is it in surplus or do we have a food deficit?
Not aware about that.
So if you were given the authority, what steps would you take to increase agricultural exports from Kashmir?
Agricultural exports? Yeah. Yes, sir. So one is what I feel is the logistics cost in Kashmir is very high. So to transport the agricultural exports from here to other parts, I think the logistic cost needs to be brought down. And second is the infrastructure of mandis needs to be improved. And third is the cartelization which is happening in Jammu and Kashmir markets as well by the buyers and sellers, which do not allow the local farmers to get the prices they want. So I think that cartelization should be the focus, that should be ended in spirit. And then digitalization is happening, and ENAM is a proposal by Center of India, Government of India. And I think ENAM can be fruitful in exporting agricultural products from Kashmir.
All right. You have an optional of PSIR as well.
Yes, sir.
So you studied international relations.
Yes, sir.
So how do you look at Quad, the formation of the Quad?
As a Quad. So actually Quad is an informal organization, as it was started earlier as an informal organization with the aim of improving the stability of Indo-Pacific. But the questions have been raised that it is an counterbody to China. But as far as India is concerned, why India looks into Quad is that India in the 21st century is now a rising power, and it has an existential threat from China. And to maintain and balance China, Quad offers a platform to pursue its interest vis-a-vis China.
Your full name is Mohammad Huzaif Sheikhzada.
Yes, sir.
Can you explain this word Sheikhzada?
Yes, sir. Sir, it actually has a religious connotation beyond it. When I told my father about this, he told me that after Sheikh, people who used to write Zada after Sheikh were the people who used to preach Islam or teach Islam in Saudi Arabia. So they were the one who used to teach Quran as well as spread the message of Islam. So that is why, considering that thing in mind, my father used Zada.
So in modern parlance, this job is done by the madrasas.
Yes, madrasas.
So what is the controversy regarding that?
So controversies have been generated. If I look at the history of madrasa, we can start it from Shah Hamdani, who came here to spread Islam. And after independence, Jamaat Islamiyah was the main body who used to start madrasas in Kashmir. If you look at their ideology is independence per se Islam. And secondly, there have been some financial funding which they have got. It has not been transparent. And that is why there have been question marks on madrasa that they have been politically funded by Pakistan and other organizations.
Okay. And gentlemen, since you have mentioned football as one of your interests, can you tell me the first country who won the World Cup?
It was Uruguay.
Okay, fine. Where will be the 2026 World Cup held?
It will be in USA, Canada and Mexico.
Okay, what is your opinion about like female activism is posing, do you agree that female activism is posing a threat to the male-dominated society?
No, sir, I don't think such is the condition. If you look at the history, the women have been suppressed for so long. Even if we consider the religions, even if we consider the state, all to some extent religions have been patriarchal, and to some extent state has been also patriarchal. If we look recently, Supreme Court in the USA banned the right to abortion now. So female activism is gaining significance now, and reproductive rights are gaining significance. And if you look the historical reasons, women have suffered a lot than men. So I think female activism is a good step.
But do you think it's posing a challenge to the, like you already mentioned, the society is more of a patriarchal. Do you believe that it's posing a threat to the male-dominated society?
I don't think so, because if you look at the male sector, they are also looking opportunities in the female sector now. Suppose if you look at chefs, now earlier chefs used to be male, but now female, but now male are also getting involved. So it is male activism is also there. So I don't think as such female activism is a threat to male sector.
Since you have worked in the corporate, and I also have worked in the past in the corporate, and I believe the perks, the financial freedom you get there, that's very high. So what prompted you, like you have been in the digital marketing, which is a vibrant kind of profession. So what prompted you to join the civil services, considering the nuances, the challenges of this? What prompted you? What was the main reason which prompted you to leave that job and try to pursue your career in the civil services?
So there were 3 reasons for that. And if the main reason is been the emotional touch I got during my father's retirement. He got retired in 2016. He was working in Jammu and Kashmir Grameen Bank. When he was on the day of his retirement, he was in Nihalpura village, Patan. The whole village had organized a retirement party for him. So I was in Delhi. He called me up and said that we are going to dinner for lunch, and my whole family we went there. And I was surprised to see that how people were so perplexed by my father's working there. I saw how my father has been so nice and kind to that village. So I got the emotional touch of being in civil services from there. Second is the skill set required for this job, like determination, work culture, work ethics, perseverance. I think I have gained that over these years working in the corporate culture. And third is the financial stability the civil services offers. So these 3 reasons I believe are enough for me to join civil services.
Thank you.
Yes, gentlemen, one thing overall, you have good knowledge, your communication skills are excellent, but the deficiency which I find is in couple of these aspects. Number one, you are not aware of your surroundings.
Yes.
Ultimately, you are to be a civil servant. You must know the geography, history of the UT, and you don't know even of your district. You don't know the background of your own village. So yes, you should, when you go back, try to find out. One, and second, when we say you should master confidence, courage, that does not mean you will feign ignorance. So there is a thin distinction between confidence and arrogance. Whenever you are before this interview panel, take time, but be confident that I am capable of answering What I found that you are in a hurry. That is not the case. Panel they are patient listeners. They will listen to you. So take time. Then you said Satluj is given to Pakistan. That is not the case. It is Jhelum, Indus and Chenab to Pakistan, and Punjab, this Satluj, Ravi and Bias to India. And he said 80-20. That is nowhere. There is some quantum of water that I have forgotten. That has been that India can use. Run of the river projects are allowed, but then there are how much height you can raise for the pounding of the water, that is debatable, and it is impact on the riparian states, especially those which are down the stream, impact of floods. Then when there is possibility of flood, how much water is to be released, what is its impact on the down below states or countries. Those are the issues that are to be addressed. And another issue is that it is not Pakistan, it is India which is seeking renegotiations or reviving the Indus Water Treaty. But one thing, one redeeming feature is that this is the only treaty which continues between India and Pakistan, which has been religiously followed by the two countries. Maybe some deviations at some levels, but overall, this is the only achievement one can say that the two countries have been able to have so far after 1947. In the case of appointment of judges, the questions were about your option, your take, and you did not give a workable solution. That's when he said some option, you will be asked to give option. You need not to be verbose. You have to give workable. That it should be, let us say in foreign countries or in developed countries or developing countries, what is the system there and how best they are working. Here, one argument against the collegium is that it is judges appointing judges, and mostly favoritism, nepotism. Baap tha judge, beta be judge, bai be judge. This has happened. This has happened. This is a fact. But then equally horrendous is that if it goes in the hands of the government, you will see a particular group of people donning the mantle of judges with a particular ideology that will breed ultimately majoritarianism. Again, the drawback in the system. So a system has to be evolved which will prevent misuse of role by all the two organs. I forgot about this GDP. You said 60% is contributed by agriculture. Are you sure?
60%, more than close to 60% of the population is dependent on agriculture.
60% is not, even at national level also.
And
agriculture is insignificant factor if we compare with manufacturing, services, others. So 60% is not correct. Huzaif, then needlessly you strayed yourself. Why controversy? You talked about, okay, Jamaat Islamiyah, whatever, but question of funding from Pakistan. Did we ask you anything about Jamaat Islamiyah? Did we? No, listen. Did we? So, avoid controversies. In case the member would tell you about, then you have to give your view. But there was no question from the panel. Isliye, avoid controversies. Be direct in your response. What the member asks you in the panel, to answer that question. So, not issues which are not part of the question.
You have to be very clever in understanding the question and then answering it, and as the chairman sir was saying, that avoid something which you are not asked for. Now say I asked you a simple question, I gave you a hint also. What are the 4 pillars of the democracy? This is the basic question, because you are going for civil services. 4 pillars of democracy, everybody knows that any democracy has 4 pillars. It is legislature, it is judiciary, it is executive, and it is media. Okay. Now, in today's date, all are converging under the influence of the legislature. Not even the legislature, between somebody is taking the takes. Now, this costs independence of all these 4. Executive had already surrendered. To be very honest with you, executive had already surrendered to the legislature, because they will do what the minister wants them to do. Okay? But at least judiciary and the media were independent. And now, because of this collegium is under, collegium at least, there was they had some say in selection of judges. Then the government was taking its own time to find comparatively.
It was lesser evil.
Now government wants to appoint their own judges. So when I ask you a question, what proposal will you give? You need not be very quick and give me a solution. You say that for taking up this assignment, I will first understand and try to study what other vibrant democracies are doing, how the judges are being appointed there. We need not imitate West, but there are good examples from the European and the Western countries where judges are being appointed. So you say, I'll first study them and I will try to find out how judges are being appointed there, because you are not supposed to know everything. What is important for our interview is how convincing your replies are. And then based on that, I will try to understand the pros and the cons of a particular system, and I will propose one. Don't propose it here in the panel. That is to be avoided. Second thing is, which I think your teachers will also tell you, that when you go for an interview, there is a particular attire that you have to be in. That's also very important. You are of course wearing a coat and a pant and formal shoes, but I mean, since you are going for an interview, I don't want to see your inner. I don't want to see your inner. So what you can do is you can put a small tie here, and you have to look also, because your look also matters. And then your tone and your voice, your articulation, that's also important. And third important thing is, I will suggest you to read a lot. Read a lot about the contemporary issues. You see, the questions that you will be asked will not be from the books. Nobody is going to ask you, what was the date of birth of Akbar, and how Akbar met Jodhabai. They will ask you about the contemporary issues which are in the media. So try to go through the newspapers every day and then try to understand those issues. That will probably help you. Otherwise, you did well. I mean, I could see the confidence in you.
Huzaif, I have been witnessing your progress, and you are a good candidate. But what I liked about you is when the panel interrupted you, you remained silent. You did not interrupt back, so that was good. One thing that I would suggest is, if you don't know the answer, you can ask for the panel, can I make a guess? Can I make a calculated guess about it? Because I don't know. So that would be one thing that you have missed. And your posture is not right. You should sit straight.
This is very important.
Yeah, don't lean back. Yeah, sit straight. Keep your hands like this. Yeah, that would be good.